What up? You're back. Daily Sports Talk with your boy AJ. That's me. Day 3, episode 3. Second week of the regular season. And matter of fact, look. Had to turn the humidifier off, get a little muggy in here. Alright, but not a bad night of basketball. Pretty good night of basketball. So let's just kick it straight off. We're gonna start off with the Jazz and the Nets. It was 130-96. The Nets took that one. Kyrie had 29, 6, 5, and 3 steals. Shot almost 80% from 3-point line and 63% from the field. The Nets made 52 of 93 shots, so they were just on fire last night. Every time I watch them, they keep reassuring me that they'll be in that spot right there. They'll be in the finals. They did that without Kyrie or KD last night against the Utah Jazz, who were playing pretty good defense, or pretty good ball up until that point. They always are very good on the defensive side. Sometimes they struggle with shooting, scoring the ball, which they did last night. But the biggest takeaways for me, the Nets, they didn't start Joe Harris for the first time since 2018. And they can throw any lineup out there. Steve Nash can. And as long as KD and Kyrie are on the team, they're going to win the game. They look so deep. They look unstoppable. They looked really good last night. Kyrie had 7 for 7, 18 points in the first quarter for Kyrie, and he does that so often, and so it makes it look so easy. His handles back, he's that guy. And then him and Allen were running a two-man game all night, and Allen was looking really good too. They look really deep. They look really good. Karis LeVert, he can be a starter on almost any team. He's that good. He can go get you 25. He plays great defense. He does that little like 1-2, like slow 1-2 fadeaway like jump shot thing, floater. It's beautiful to watch. He always makes it. I mean, they're just so good. 20-4 fast break points for the Nets. 68-40 points in the paint, so they were dominant. With pace, they were dominant, pushing the ball, scoring, and then down low, they just were getting anything they wanted. Jared Allen had a night. So, all in all, the Nets, they just keep reassuring me they'll be in that spot, and they're gonna win it all, really. Unless some crazy, knock on wood, some crazy injury happens. But they did that 130 without KD. So with him back on the floor, and he's so unselfish. He doesn't need the ball in his hand. He's so efficient. Wow, that's a scary sight to see. Let's go to the next game. Let's go Memphis Lakers. Memphis is not the best team. Now that right now they're in last place. Now that John Morant's not there, so I think it would have been a different game with him on the floor. But a low-scoring game, 94-92. Lakers take that one. Braun was 26-11-7, and AD was 26-10-4. That duo, that'll get it done. But for some reason, LeBron has been starting games super slow. He had 5 points to start in the first half, and then that's when in the second half he turns it on. Do I have a problem with that? Not really, because he's Braun, so I know he can go get you. Well, he's at 1,000+ games in a row. 10+ points per game, so I know he's going to go get points. But that is the Memphis Grizzlies. You did almost lose the game. So he needs to I know it's only been a month or 2 months since removed from the bubble, but he needs to start to condition himself, because this is a shortened season, 72 games. Before he knows it, the back half of the regular season and the playoffs are going to be here, and he needs to be ready for that. Because if not, and they think they're going to walk through it like they did last year. they're going to be very, very upset with the end result. So, let's see. The Grizzlies, they kept the lead going into the half. They had 10 players on the board with points for the Grizzlies. So, they're a deepish team. They're deep, but I don't know how their caliber of players down the line. But with Ja Morant, I'm sure they'll be playing a lot better. Brooks was here and there. He would make a couple shots and he would miss a couple shots, and then Big Valen. I always get this man's name wrong. I feel disrespectful. Yeah, Valanciunas. Him and Marc Gasol were going back and forth, but he only had 13 points, 11 rebounds. We're gonna need a little bit more from him for them to take the next step. But down the stretch, they had, in the end of the third, they had 5 fouls and only 3 points for Gasol. They're missing. This is the Lakers I'm talking about. They're missing JaVale and Dwight Howard. They are. They don't really have a big presence down there. Marc Gasol used to be a defensive player of the year. He's old. He's slow now. He can still hit a couple shots. He maybe make a couple back to the basket post moves, but he's not JaVale and Dwight Howard, and AD does not like to play the 5. So with him spread out, they're weak on the inside, and it shows. It shows a lot. But all in all, the Lakers came out with the win, so that's all that matters. But there was a lot to be desired from them because, like I said, slow start from Braun. They had 2, big mental lapses at the end of the game. They thought the game was over. I think they were down 6. Yeah, they were down 6. Inbound to AD. He turns it over. They get a layup. Turn right back around to give it to LeBron. He has a turnover. They make a layup, and now it's a 2-point game. That can't happen. That can't happen at all, especially with those 2 caliber players. That can't happen. Now, yeah, they won the game. It's a regular season game. You don't have to put a lot of stock in it, but you build a habit now of making those mistakes, and deep in the season when the games start to really matter for placing, and then even in the playoffs, if you revert back to those old habits, it's going to be bye-bye Lakers. So, they held the game off 94-92. They could have played better, but they got the win, so we'll give it to them. Let's go to the next game. We got Nuggets Timberwolves. We got 123-116. The Nuggets took that game. That was a good game. I like watching that game. The Nuggets were trailing for most of the game, and let's see. Jokic had 35, 15, 6, and 3 steals. They played well in the second half. Well, Jokic did at least, and from Jamal Murray needs to show up. We all saw what he did in the bubble. Came back 3-1. They came back 3-1. They were a dominant team. But we need to see that now. Because right now, Jamal Murray's looking ordinary. He didn't really do very much last night. He had 13 points, 2 turnovers, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. That doesn't really seem like Jamal Murray type numbers. They should have really blown the Timberwolves out, especially with no Cat. They were definitely missing Cat last night. The Nuggets, they came apart in the second quarter. The Timberwolves were laying it on them. They came back down from 18, and then they led 65-62 at the half, and that just shows really that for the Nuggets there was a lack of energy. They didn't seem like they were all there, like they were.
The new Dell XPS with a machined aluminum.
These damn ads. It didn't seem like they were all there, like their head was in it. They were in cruise mode for most of the game. But for the Timberwolves, there's some positives you can take away from that. The young bull Hernan Gomez, however you say Hernan Gomez. I don't want to butcher his name, but it's Hernan Gomez. He was 5 of 8 from the three. He had 25 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. That'll work. He's not really even one of their top guys, and if he can give you that production, then Russell, he was doing D'Angelo things like we know he's capable of doing. 33, 11 assists, 3 rebounds. He was getting to the bucket. He was making shots. He was big for them. So with those two guys, if they can play like that, with the addition of Cat when he returns, I think the Timberwolves would be a pretty decent team. Edwards played an okay game. He's got to learn some of the shot. He had 15, 3 and 1. Some of the shots he was taking were rookie shots. They weren't the best quality of shots. They were just kind of, I'm open, let me take them. But he'll learn more of their system. But that game I understand a little more because they didn't have Cat, so it's next man up. So now somebody needs to put the points on the board. So I'm not gonna blame him too much for that, but they definitely were missing Cat last night. Cat's there. I think that maybe they win that game because in the fourth quarter they had no answer for Jokic. Now a lot of teams don't have an answer for Jokic, but he was destroying the Timberwolves last night in the fourth quarter. Jokic took the game over and pretty much walked them to the promised land, and that was the ball game. So they were missing Cat last night. They lost by 7. So more